hello. All right. Let's go live on IG. How's everybody doing out there today? Here we go. All right. Hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody out there. IG, Facebook. How are you guys doing on this lovely Tuesday afternoon? Elaine Proby here, CEO, PROBY'S Tax and Accounting. And today I'm just going to bring you guys a quick update on your business deductions so that you can understand what the business deductions are. So you guys can take and make sure that you write off every single thing, write every single thing off so you can get a good refund, right? You don't want to pay any more taxes than you have to the government. So this is what we are doing today, making sure that you write off all your deductions, understanding your deductions, make sure you take them all. I have a lot of clients who's always asking me what it is that they can write off. And I want to make sure that you guys understand what those things are today. Okay, so today we're going to cover 3 different types of business deductions that are the most common. And I don't want you guys to miss any of this stuff. All right, so get a notebook and a pen and write this stuff down. We're going to talk today about 3 basic type of business deductions. The first one is going to be about the depreciation expenses. I want to explain that to you guys, that you understand what that means and what you can deduct and how it's going to help your bottom line. The depreciation expenses we're going to talk about. The second point today is going to be the office and home. It's going to be great because everybody's working from home. Most businesses are operating from the house now. So before it was office and home, and you may or may not be there, and now you're really forced to almost be at home working your business. So office and home deductions, I want to make sure you guys understand that one. And then on the third points, we'll just cover some of the other common deductions. However, there's a lot of common deductions that is being missed all the time. Okay, so I have questions for all my clients all the time about what it is that I can write off. And that's why today this is super important for us to go over, right? So all right, so I want to welcome you guys on here once again. Elaine Proby, CEO, PROBY'S Tax and Accounting. And let's jump right into the first deduction, okay? Hi, Inez. Hi, Laverne. Thanks for jumping on. So the first deduction, the depreciation I want to talk about. And depreciation is an expense, guys, that a lot of us really don't quite understand how it works because there's different ways that a depreciation works. And what it is if you buy an asset for your business. Let's say you bought a vehicle for your business, or you bought some equipment for your business, any type of assets that you bought for your business. And a lot of times these assets are the most costly, right? If you bought a vehicle, it's the most costly. Maybe a major equipment is the most costly. Computers set up and all that stuff is the most costly. So these assets are usually the most costly for the business. Now, depreciation, the way it works, initially, you can write off the expenses over a period of time. Let's say, for instance, you bought a vehicle that cost about $30,000. You bought a truck, $30,000, let's say. And the truck is supposed to last your business 10 years for you to operate and run it. And then, of course, you get to write off over the 10-year period, say $3,000 a year from that $30,000 purchase, right? So depreciation expense, that's what it is. You get to write off a portion of that asset over the years. But what I want you guys to understand now, because of the Tax Act 2017, 2018, you get to write off a bonus depreciation, or you get to do a Section 179, which is what they call, so you can almost write off 100% of that asset, almost 100% of that asset. So if you guys went out and bought a vehicle, 100% for your business, and you say you paid $30,000 or more, you will get to write off all that entire amount in the year that you actually bought it. So that is great. Instead of writing off $3,000 per year, you get to write off the whole thing. So if you made a lot of money, in say 2020, you get to write off that $30,000 on the vehicle that you purchased. So you get to offset your bottom line, guys. Depreciation expense, very good deduction right now. And I want you guys to understand how it works. So if you were contemplating buying a vehicle or buying any major equipment or anything major for assets for your business, I hope you guys went ahead and did that in 2020. And of course, if you didn't, 2021, you get to do it. And if you make a lot of money, we get to offset it with all of the money you spend on that asset. All right, so that's the first thing. Depreciation expense, guys. I want you guys to understand that. So we're going to cover 3 points today. Again, thanks for jumping on. Elaine Proby, again, CEO, PROBY'S Tax and Accounting here, making sure that you guys get all of your tax deductions, okay? All right, let's jump into the second thing. Now, office and home. Office and home is a very, very common deduction now because most people is working from home. Before, a lot of businesses, you were going to the office, but you set up at home in case you have to do some work at home. Now you are almost forced to work at home. So the office and home deduction, and this is where a lot of people get confused because they don't understand exactly how to write off the office and home deduction. So I want to make sure you guys totally understand this, okay? And most of my clients, they come and they say, I don't understand how to write off the office and home. How do I take this? What do I need to do? Okay, so let me explain this to you. To write off your office and home deduction, guys, you just need to have an area of the home that is used exclusively for your business, right? You don't have to have a partition. It doesn't have to be a separate room. It don't have to be, all divided up and say, okay, this is where I'm working from. It doesn't necessarily have to be that anymore. As long as it is an area that is used exclusively for your business, it's an office and home, and you use it for your business, guys, you get to write off a portion of your home expenses for your office, okay? So there's a couple of ways you can do this. There is an actual expense. Sometimes you may have to do some improvement. Let's say you took a room and you have to fix it up. You got to paint it. You got to do certain things to that room. Now, if you did something specifically to the area, then you can write off 100% of what you did to the area, 100% of everything you did to that room or to that area that you created for your workspace. So you can take 100% of that, okay? So if you didn't do anything specifically to that area, I want you guys to understand that you could take off a percentage of the expenses of your entire household, right? And I'll tell you how to do that. Okay, so you can do that by using the square footage of your home. Say your home is 1,200 square feet, and then your office space is, let's say, 200 square feet of that home is your office space. The percentage of the home to the office space is what you get to write off. Okay, so the things that you write off is your rent, your mortgage, property taxes, insurance, all the household expenses. You get to write off that percentage that relates to your office. You get to write that off as part of your business deduction. This is what we're looking for, right? We're looking for business deduction so we can pay less taxes, so we can put more money in our pocket, guys. This is what we're talking about today, okay? So the area that you use for your office at home, and again, if you guys are into any type of, say, your business is physical therapy, or you're doing, whatever it is, it doesn't necessarily mean this is only where you do your papers and your books and that kind of stuff, right? If you use it physically for people to come in, for you to render any type of services, this is what we consider office at home. And then also too, if you use a portion of your house or garage or something for your storage area, that is also considered an office at home, right? So if you use a portion for storage, you can write that off as well. Okay, so include that in your square footage so we can take that deduction. Okay, so this is exciting. We don't want to miss anything here. All right, so the area that you use for your home, again, specific use. If you have anything directly done to it, you can take 100% of that. If not, you take a percentage of the entire expenses of your home, and you use it as your business deduction. All right, Laverne, how are you doing? Can you write off the expense at home even if she said, can you write off the expense at home even if you have your own business? All right. If you're an employee and okay, let's see. Can you write off the expense at home if you're an employee or only if you have your own business? Okay, so this is the deal. You can write off the office at home expense if you're an employee and your job requires you to work from home, right? Now, the thing about writing off home office expense as an employee, because the IRS is not allowing those miscellaneous deductions, that will fall under one of those miscellaneous deductions. So the IRS is not allowing the miscellaneous deductions write-off anymore because they claim the employer should be reimbursing you for that. However, if you're in California, the state of California is still allowing that. So if you have an office at home, and you're an employee and you need to have it, right? So the state of California is still allowing the miscellaneous deductions. The federal is not, because they claim that the employer should reimburse you. So anyway, it is still a deduction to the state. but the federal is not allowing the miscellaneous deduction. But if you have your own business, of course, it is 100% deductible if the area is whatever the expenses is specifically to that area or a portion of your house. Very good question there. Very good question, Laverne. Okay. So, guys, thank you all for just jumping on here again. Elaine Proby, CEO of PROBY'S Tax and Accounting. Today, we're covering a understanding your business deduction, and there are a lot of deductions that you guys are leaving on the table, and you're not putting on your list of deductions when you come to do your taxes. So, on the third deduction, okay, that's number 2 is a home office. Number three, I want to cover other deductions, and in the other deductions, I want to specifically talk about deductions that most people miss, guys. All right, most people miss this deduction, and I want you to notice. I have clients all the time. They come in to do their taxes, right? They have a business that they're running from home. Now, for the most part, most people are not thinking of all of the stuff that is business related. So the first thing I say to them is, look, whatever you spend in order for you to create that income, in order for you to create business income, whatever you spend money on is a deduction, guys. So whatever you spend money on to create the money that you're making or the money you anticipated making, right? Whatever you spend to do that is a business deduction, right? It's directly related to the purpose of why you are in business. So this is my answer to all the clients and everyone. When they get done, they sit at my desk, and after we go over these deductions, before you know it, they have a lot of expenses that they were forgetting, a lot of expenses. So I want to make sure you guys take note of this, make sure that you're not forgetting any of these expenses. So let's go over the third point, which is some of the other expense deductions, right? So some of the most common expense deduction, of course, you guys, is the rent, your office supplies, okay, travel. I want you guys to keep that in mind, travel. Now, sometimes with travel, some people think that, if I didn't get in an airplane and go someplace, it's not travel. No, travel doesn't have to be in an airplane to go somewhere, right? If you get in your car and you went to another city or state or somewhere and you spend overnight, you have to pay for the stay, you have to pay for meals, all that stuff. That's all travel related expenses. You don't want to miss any of that stuff, guys. All of that is travel. Hi, Sylvia. Thanks for jumping on. All right, so travel expenses, guys, professional fees. If you had to pay to set up your business, professional fees, all the startup costs. You pay someone to assist you to get your business started. You have to get paperwork filed. You have to get your license and all that stuff set up. And you pay someone to, even if it's consultation fee, if they didn't actually do the work, but they consult with you and you paid money on that, guys, you are able to deduct those costs, okay? Professional fees, all that stuff you get to deduct. And so if you had a business loan and you pay interest on that loan, personal loans, you can't write off any interest on it. But if it's a business loan, if you use the money for business, you pay interest back on that loan, you get to write that off as well, guys. That's a deduction. All right. Now, this is a big one. Everybody forgets about this one, and almost all my clients, they always forget this. And most of them are in a business where this is very, very, very valuable. The publication and subscription, right? Publication and subscription. Now, right now, today, we're all having to subscribe to so many, especially our software companies. Think about how many software companies you have to subscribe to, how many programs you're using, right? How many programs you're using, how many software, how many of all that stuff that you are using right now for your business. All this stuff is subscription. Generally, they want you to do, they're not trying to sell you anything. Even your accounting program, they're not trying to sell you anything. What they're trying to make you do is subscribe, right? Think about it, subscribe. How many of the $7.99 and the $9.99 and the $1.99, if it's a music subscription, how many of that did you spend money on? It adds up. It all adds up. And so this is what I want you guys to remember. All my clients forget the subscription part. They all forget that. But we always subscribe to something or another, okay? So subscription, your publication, membership dues. These are the most forgettable deductions. I want to make sure we don't miss any of this going forward, guys. We want to make sure that we capture all these deductions. So education. If you had to take a class, if you had to go to a seminar, if you had to do something online, okay? If you had to do something online, all this stuff is deductible. Okay, other business related expense deduction, education. It could be a seminar. You could have just went to it could just been online. It could have been an overnight thing. It could have just been a 2 or 3 hour course. You would have had to maybe buy some material, guys, or you had to pay someone to, to teach you something that you didn't know. You can write this off as a business expense deduction. Okay. Remember, we want to take advantage of everything that we do. Hi, McCoy. Thanks for jumping on here. Okay, so guys, keep in mind that the idea today is to get all of your business deductions that you can possibly take legally, so you can write off 100% of that stuff, pay less taxes at the end. Okay, this is what we want to do. Let's see, advertising, the key, the biggest thing, advertising, marketing and advertising. And I want you guys to remember this. You have to capture everything in advertisement. Everything that you have done, every flyer that you designed, any type of material, your logo, all the stuff that you use to put your business out there, to make people know you exist. All this stuff is a deduction. Don't forget the stuff. I mean, I don't care if you pay $50 for someone to design a logo, someone to set up a website, someone to, sometimes you're paying someone to keep your social media up. All the stuff you pay for. These are all deductible expenses for your business, okay? All deductible expenses for your business, all right? Now, one thing I want to really point out here, guys, if you are in a type of business where you're using a uniform, where you have to wear a uniform, remember that is a deduction. Now, the professional folks, this is where we get confused. The professional folks, no, you can write off your suits and your jackets and your ties. That is not a deduction. But the people who have to wear a uniform, anything that has your business logo on it, now you can make it a uniform if it's your business logo and you're having to wear this pink shirt or this blue jacket all the time, and this is the color code, this is the logo on there, this is your uniform. If that is what it is, guys, you get to write that off as well. Okay, work shoes, work boots, all that good stuff, right? So anything that you have to buy for you to be able to function in your capacity of business is a deduction, right? So let's see what else that we can take more to the common deduction, guys. I want to make sure that we don't miss the common stuff. I mean, the stuff that most people don't pay attention to, and like I said, the office expenses and things like that. If you had to buy any furniture, again, new computer, printer, new phones, all that good stuff, you get to write off of that stuff as a business deduction. So let me go recap again. Once again, guys, thanks for jumping on here. And Elaine Proby here. We're going over business expense deduction today, and I want to recap again. The first deduction that we covered today is depreciation. And like I said, depreciation, that can be a little complicated. However, it is one of the biggest deductions, especially if you bought a large asset for your business. You can get to write off thousands and thousands of dollars. So I love depreciation, right? And then this next one is the office at home. Number 2 is the office at home. And I want to make sure we don't miss anything there, guys. There's a lot of stuff that we miss when it comes to office at home, a lot of stuff that we miss. I want to make sure we don't miss anything there, because sometimes I don't think people pay attention to the direct expenses. They don't pay attention to direct expense. They don't pay attention to having to just pay that one room. And that's 100% as opposed to the percentage of the entire house, okay? So we want to be careful with that one. And then other deductions. Other deductions, there's a lot of number 3, the other deductions, other business related expenses. And we want to capture all that stuff, especially some of the things that are mostly overlooked. Merchant fees, guys, on your bank statement, all the merchant fees. When you use a credit card, I know we're all using all these different types of credit card payments, and we're using all these other types of payments, things that are taking 3% and 2% and 1%. All of those fees, guys, all of those fees is a deduction if you are claiming all of that income in your taxes. All right, so that will cover it. That's my 3 points today. I want to thank you guys for coming on here, and I want you guys to subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Guys, there's a lot of great stuff on there for you, and you guys hit like and share this video. I'm sure there's a lot of people that can take advantage of this stuff as well. Again, this is for self-employed people. This is for the corporations, anybody that's operating a business. These deductions are valid, and you want to make sure that you minimize your bottom line so you can keep more money in your pocket. All right. So you guys comment, like, and share this video. Okay, more money in your pocket, more wealth building. This is what we want to do. Okay, so you don't want to throw away your hard-earned dollars. You know, that's my motto. Don't throw away your hard-earned dollars. You work so hard for this money, you just don't want to give it away in taxes, right? You don't want to do that. All right. So with that said, guys, I'll be getting out of here. I want you guys to come back on Thursday. If you come back here on Thursday, we are going to be talking about, let's see, on Thursday afternoon, we're going to be talking about your refund. Your refund. Understanding your refund. That's a good one because everybody wants to know how they're getting that money back. Why is my refund changed? Why is it different from last year? I'm going to explain all that to you guys. So come back and learn about your refund on Thursday, 1 p.m. right here, PROBY'S Tax and Accounting. I want to thank you guys for jumping on. High Clouds for Pop. Thanks for jumping on. I want you guys to make sure that you follow instructions, y'all. Follow instructions. And I want you guys to take care of yourself and take care of each other. Okay, so I'll see y'all back on Thursday. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.